Hey, everybody, and welcome to the UCLA Basketball Tip-Off Dinner 2020. I'm Josh Lewin, and obviously we'd love to be doing this in person with you. I'm sure you're well aware of the reasons why we can't, but we appreciate you just kind of hanging with us here. We'll take you through the next several minutes of fun and get you ready for what should be a very, very fun, exciting 2021 basketball season. Note I didn't even say 2020. 2021. I'm already kind of fast forwarding to next year for, again, what should be obvious reasons. There's some good news that's come down recently. If you like polls, and not everybody does, not everybody trusts them, but the media has decided that UCLA men's basketball is the number one team in conference this year. Preseason number one, for whatever that's worth. Picked to win the conference is pretty good in a very crowded and talented field. That's some pressure, obviously. This is a good conference. Some might even call it the Conference of Champions. Last year, the Pac-12 expected to get 6, maybe 7 teams into the NCAA tournament, a tournament that obviously never happened. But you look around and the conference is loaded this year. Oregon, they lost Peyton Pritchard, but they always recruit very well. Arizona State, with its highest ranking ever that they've had to start a season. Remy Martin is back there at number 18. Stanford lost Tyrell Terry, but they return 4 starters and they bring in Zaire Williams. Obviously USC and Arizona, I mean, on and on and on. It is a very, very difficult conference to navigate this year, but for what it's worth, the media people think that the Bruins will indeed navigate it and come out on top. So, in what could be a wild, very competitive season in the Pac-12, into this arena strolls a new athletic director. It's a challenging time to be an athletic director anywhere, but certainly in the throes of a pandemic, coming into UCLA at kind of a weird time at every turn. Martin Jarmond has done an amazing job of getting his feet on the ground and getting us all ready for this coming men's basketball season. Let's hear from him right now, the new AD, Mr. Martin Jarmond.
Bruins, my name is Martin Jarmond, and I'm your new athletic director. Welcome to the virtual men's basketball tip-off. I'm sorry we can't be in person, but we are so excited about this team and this season. Thank you for all of your support. Go Bruins.
Thank you, Martin, and we'll dive right in. I think we should begin chatting with some of this year's key players. We'll hear from Mick Cronin coming up. Of course, the coach of the year in the Pac-12 a year ago. The most improved player in the Pac-12 is voted on by the media and the coaches was Chris Smith, and he was named to various watch lists for this season. He's got a shot to be first team all-conference, if not player of the year. He's the lone senior on the team. 13 points a game from last season, dropped a 30-burger on Colorado. Let's get you going with Chicago's very own Chris Smith. All right, so here he is. He's back. Thank God. Chris Smith is here. And I think a lot of people thought that you might already be an NBA player now. You could have been. I really believe that. And you will be someday. So tell me straight, when did you know that it was back to UCLA and this was going to be your path this year?
I actually didn't know until like the very end. I was one of the last people to withdraw from the draft. I decided to, take as much time as I could and weigh the options as much as I could, and just get as much insight as possible before I made my decision. So I didn't know really till like the week leading up to my withdrawal. But yeah, I withdrew the last day, but it was just constant communication with my coaches, parents, and, all the teams. So I got a lot of information back. And coming back here was definitely the better decision for me.
Share some of that information, Smitty, if you don't mind. I mean, when
Yeah, of course.
coaches and these insiders told you, here's the
Yeah.
things you need to just kind of sand down and make sure it's good. What are those things?
The number one thing was just my consistency. Bringing it to the table every single night. A lot of times I'll disappear during the season. I'll have, a big game, maybe two back to back, and then the third game won't be as good. That's something that I can't let happen this season. I've got to be consistent, and bring everything to the table every single night. There's a plethora of areas in my game that I've got to work on, mainly my ball handling. My shot has to get better. I can't be missing open shots, and just being a creator on the ball rather than just looking to score. I have to get my teammates, more involved in the game, and that's something that I think I can do pretty well. And I've been working on it a lot. So those are just tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more. We'd be here for a while if I told you everything, but those are the main ones.
Well, if I'm an NBA scout, the fact that you use plethora already goes in the win column for me. So you're a smart player, if nothing else. So I'm just curious too, because down the stretch last year, obviously it wasn't just you, but everybody seemed to kind of figure it out, right? This
Yeah.
big winning streak, you're a USC 3-pointer away from literally being the hottest team in the whole country heading into the middle of March. So I know it's all hindsight, but had you guys continued that run, do you feel confident that that would have been a pretty special month of March had the pandemic not come in?
Yeah, we definitely believe so. Unfortunately, we ended the season on a loss and would have had to go on into conference play off of a loss. But, we still felt as if we had momentum. With everything that we had been through that season, one loss couldn't tear us apart. So, we still felt tight knit, and, we still were going to go into before even March Madness. We wanted to go into that conference tournament and make a statement. So, and the crazy thing is, I still feel like we have a little bit of that momentum. With guys coming back. People, everybody that played major minutes is pretty much back here. So, just seeing familiar faces and just getting in the gym with the same guys from last year that we made that run with, I still feel like we have a bit of that momentum left.
Another thing, I'm just kind of spitballing here. Again, if I'm an NBA scout and I already love your game, one thing I'm looking for this year is I look at the UCLA roster and I notice, wait a minute, there's only one senior on this team,
Yeah,
and it's you, right? So, I mean, I would think that leadership now is something that you got to be mindful of. Is that a challenge that you like?
absolutely. I just I love that my teammates look up to me the way they do, and the way they believe in me. I love it. Last year, that streak that we had, and my evolution that year, that season, it was all because of my teammates and my coaches. I just felt like they had the utmost confidence in me, whenever I was on the court, and that's what gave me the ability to make the shots that I made and make the plays that I made. So um, the leadership role is something that I'm willing to take on, and I'm loving it so far. And it's not really just me as the leader. We've got guys on this team that hold each other accountable, and I think that's what makes a good team. Me being the lone senior, obviously I have to lead the way, but I mean I'm not doing much of the leadership. It's pretty much a team thing. Everybody holds each other accountable from me all the way down the table. But yeah, leadership is definitely something that I'm focusing on this year, and I'm enjoying the challenge so far.
And finally, Chris, I know one personal goal you've put out there, and it's a really lofty one, is that 50, 40, 90. I got to ask you about that. That. For those that don't know, that's 50% from the floor, 40% from the arc, 90% from the line. No Bruin has ever done that. Reggie Miller, of course, was a Bruin. He didn't do it here. He's done it in the NBA. He's one of only 8 players ever to do it in the NBA. So if you were to do it here, I mean, that's phenomenal. Which of those is the most challenging? The from the field, the from the arc, or from the line?
For me, it's from the arc. Coach Cronin always tells me when I take my time, and I get to spots that I'm good in, I can pretty much score every time I get on 2 feet and take my time. So, shooting from the field, 50%, shouldn't be that hard for me. And 90% from the free throw line, obviously, that's still going to have to take at least a 6% increase from my previous free throw percentage. But, that's something that I believe I can do. But the 40% from the arc would be the biggest challenge for me. But like I said, I'm going into the season, with guys that I know that have my back. So that's something that I feel like I can definitely achieve with these guys. And
It's a great answer. It's going to be a great season. Hey, welcome back again. Seriously, we're so
thank you.
thrilled that you decided to do what you did. And please stay safe. We'll see you soon, pal.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
I told you how to spell fun, didn't I?
WIN, baby.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Chris Smith slams it. Campbell drive. On the give. Cody Riley. Two-hand stuff down the backhand to Hawkins. Left. Firing.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Thanks again to Chris Smith, a key member of the backcourt, three-point artist, terrific defender, real glue guy. Had a stretch last year of 150 minutes without a turnover, which is impossible as much as this guy handles the ball. But from Bishop Montgomery High School, the junior, let's welcome in David Singleton. Well, David Singleton is going to join us and talk to us about expectations. That's a tough word. And David, I don't know if Coach Cronin has told you guys just to put your fingers in your ears and not listen to this, I guess, kind of rancor now that all of a sudden you guys are the top dog in the Pac-12. That's what the media thinks is going to happen. You're a top 25 team nationally. Do you listen to that, or do you block it all out?
We block it all out. We're focused on the next game. That's all we're going to work on, getting better as a team, as a unit. We don't really pay attention to the rankings.
So how do you get better? Last year, you guys were already closing with wins in 11 out of 14 games. You guys were rolling. What can be better?
Everything can be better in a game of basketball. You can never have a perfect game. But for us, we just got to know why we win, and we have to know why we lost early on in the season. If we remember those things, we should be good. Playing defense, getting rebounds, playing hard, all that.
So the tipping point last year, everybody seems to agree, David, you guys lost to Stanford. And, to hear it told, Coach really aired you guys out. It took the letters right off of your jerseys and practice, the whole thing. Was that the attention getter that we all thought it was, or was that overblown?
No, it definitely got our attention. We had a team meeting and everything last year. We had to buckle down. We had to talk through some things, and we had to keep each other accountable. Last year, the accountability wasn't there until Coach got on us. Then we started getting on each other. We have to want it more than our coach, and that's what started to happen.
When you look at what's around you now, and you're going to be asked to do a lot of different things this year, defend as always, shoot threes as always, maybe even play some point guard this year. Your mates in the backcourt, give me a little scouting report. Obviously, Tiger Campbell, if he's healthy, is an amazing talent. What would you say to people when they look at your backcourt?
I would say just, we have a lot of guys. We have a lot of depth this year. We have the freshman, Jay Clark. He's looking good. He's looking great in practice. Johnny Juzang, he's shooting the ball, the air out of the ball. I mean, he's making them. And then we have me, of course, just shooting threes, trying to lead the team. We have Tiger. He's back healthy. He's in shape. He's moving a little faster.
I got to ask you, with all that's been going on, and I guess not going on, right? I mean, it's not a complete lockdown, but it's pretty close. So what have you been doing? I mean, now that school's going again, at least you've got your schoolwork, but what's it been like just being a student during the pandemic?
It's been kind of easy for me because you don't really have to walk to class. You just sign in on your laptop, so it's pretty easy. But you're just keeping track of getting your assignments in, and you have to be proactive about like when stuff is due because you don't have the teacher like letting you know when everything is. But being a student is fair game.
I would think that, I mean, this seems like it makes sense in basketball anyway, too. If you're a self-starter, right, I mean, you've got an opportunity now to just kind of take total control of your life. So I would think that for a guy like you, that's cool because it seems like that's your whole basketball thing, too. You're going to motivate yourself.
Yeah, there's definitely the discipline definitely transfers from basketball to academics. So, I mean, if I'm not studying, if I'm not signing on my laptop, I'm working on my game, I'm watching film, I'm doing something related to basketball.
What else, when you do have downtime, give us a little insight into if you got just an hour or two to kill. Are you a Netflix guy? Are you a video games guy? What are you doing?
I'm a video games guy, so I'll play Fortnite for an hour or two, or I might just watch Netflix and see what's good. I'm a Hulu guy as well, so I'll tune in on Hulu and watch some shows.
You got a recommendation or two for us? Anything you like from the last month or so?
Um, I've been rewatching the game on Hulu. That's because I just like the athlete's lifestyle and what goes on behind the scenes. So yeah, that's what I recommend.
Is that something that someday you could do? Be on that side of the camera and people follow David Singleton around for a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would be very open to doing a TV show. And, I love being in front of the camera and smiling. So yeah, I would definitely be open to doing that.
All right. Well, good to know on our end too. We're gonna take you up on that. Keep smiling,
All
buddy.
right.
Congratulations on everything. Go get them. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. A little departure now, as we'll get back to the players and eventually the coach as well. But I've got the pleasure of working with one of the great Bruins of all time in Tracy Murray. He's my radio partner, as you may know. And some of you go back to his days at Glendora High School. 44.3 points a game, led the nation. He scored more than 3,000 points in high school. Just incredible. And at 3 years at UCLA, 18.3 points a game, 18th overall pick in the 1992 draft. At that time, he was number 5 on the Bruins all-time scoring list. I know all that's in the past. Let's talk about what's coming up this year, the present, and even the future with my buddy Tracy Murray. All right, partner, let's talk about expectations for this season. I mean, first of all, just to have a season, I guess, is a blessing, right? We got to keep knocking wood and making sure that all the protocols are being followed. But in theory, if these games are played, this could be a pretty exciting season, don't you think?
Right. I mean, it's been a while since we've been ranked, so it's a little bit of excitement in the air for Bruin basketball. I think the schedule came out today, so we're able to see what the games look like, who we're going to be playing. There are a couple of games circled on the schedule that hopefully we are ready for, and I know they've been practicing hard, so I look forward to it.
You mentioned the schedule, and when you talk about just the first 4 weeks, you're looking at Kentucky, you're looking at Oregon you're talking about San Diego State to open the season. This is not exactly easing into the pool here. I guess the good thing is the Bruins return a lot. I mean, these are seasoned guys now, and that should play well the whole year.
Yeah, and throw Marquette in there too. We forgot about them, Bob. So they have a pretty decent preseason when it comes to getting ready for conference play. And you're right; these are seasoned veterans now. But with the COVID, I just hope that guys were able to find some way of improving their skill set while the off season was occurring. So hopefully they're able to bring all of the improvements together as a unit, and then the team move forward with that.
Were you surprised at all that Chris Smith came back, or were you expecting that to happen?
I was expecting it to happen because just from my relationships with the scouts and general managers, I knew that Chris Smith was going to be a second rounder or maybe not drafted. So he must have gotten the same information that I had and stayed put, which was smart.
When you think about what he's got around him now this year, I mean, obviously it's a lot of the same cast of characters from a year ago, but when you look at the guys coming in, Clark and Juzang, it seems like there's just some more chess pieces on the board now for him, right?
Right, but those guys are kind of inexperienced too. They're still young, but you got some talent to go along with him. But with how unselfish Chris Smith is, and his ability to be able to distribute as well as score, he has good playmaking skills. Those guys, all they have to be ready to do is do whatever their strength is. If they're shooting the basketball, then shoot the basketball. If you're a slasher or you're a lob runner, or he's able to hit you on a backdoor pass, just be ready to finish.
Guys that made strides last year, there's a lot of them, but you and I think together just kind of looked at each other slack-jawed sometimes down the stretch when all of a sudden you got Jalen Hill basically becoming Ben Wallace, and you've got Cody Riley not only using his left hand but using his right hand and playing at both ends of the floor. Those were two pretty stunning developments, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, they got better as the year went on, and they started understanding what physical play is without fouling. They started understanding what putting a few games of consistency back to back and what it takes to be what they want to be, which is a pro. You got to be able to play night in and night out and be consistent in all areas of the game. If you're consistent, then you're going to win. And if you're win, you're going to get more visibility and notoriety. So hopefully they use that experience from last year, playing a year under Coach Cronin, understanding what he's asking of them, and then to be ready for it and move the team forward this year.
Do you remember how low we all felt after that home loss to Stanford? They're 1-3 in conference. They're basically a 500 team overall. There doesn't seem to be any buy-in. And I think you and I were kind of looking at each other like, man, we knew this would be a process, but we didn't know it would have to dig this deep. Then all of a sudden, it's just like everybody had a light bulb go on. Were you surprised that it turned as quickly as it did?
I was, because it just seemed like everybody was in rebellion mode, and they're just laying down. It's like, okay, we're done. But then too, I don't know if it was a meeting, a players only meeting, or program meeting, to where these guys got on the same page, and it turned around quick. And they started looking like a well-oiled machine for a second.
Yeah, they did. To the point where, and I've already brought this up on this call, and everybody keeps slapping me for it, so please don't reach through and slap me. But I can't get the Jordan Matthews 23-footer out of my head. If it wasn't for the end of that USC game, the Bruins literally come into this year with an 8-9 game winning streak intact. They're the hottest team going, returning almost 90% of their scoring. I'm not going to let that one shot ruin that feeling, right? I feel like they built something towards the end of last year, and they can spill it into this year.
Well, they did build something, but that was a USC loss, and that one's hard to swallow. And everybody knew he was the hottest person and the only person that was capable of beating you down the stretch, and the Bruins just wasn't ready for him to shoot the basketball, which we talked about it. We didn't understand why they weren't ready to defend him. But, with all that said, they did have a heck of a momentum going down the stretch.
So who's your pick to click for this year? I mean, Chris Smith is the easy answer, right? Because he's a returning senior, and he had a 30-point game against Colorado last year and all of that. But who's ready to take that next step and join him on that platform?
Well, I mean, Chris Smith is obvious. I mean, he's got a lot to prove. This is it for him. Well, I don't know with the new rules. He might have another one if he decides to come back. But he's going to be the leader, of course. I'm looking to see, Jake Kyman. What is he going to do? What type of skills did he develop while COVID was down? Is he able to put the ball on the deck a little bit more and dribble the ball? Did his athleticism get better? Is he able to defend better this year? Jake Kyman also Jaime Jaquez is another obvious answer because of his performance as a freshman last year. You want to see him make the jump and see how he does. And if those guys can provide the scoring punch from the perimeter that is needed with this team, then the inside is already answered with Jalen Hill and Cody Riley. So, but another thing is guard play. The guard play has to be premium. So everybody had to step their level up. But those two guys, I'm really wondering what they're going to bring to the table.
What I'm wondering, now that there's some preseason rankings out, and UCLA is one of 3 in the top 25 out of this conference. They're number 22 overall, but they're behind Oregon and Arizona State. Do you see that as being about right? Is that cool with you? To me, maybe that's almost a motivating factor. That I would have guessed UCLA was in that mix. I might have even thrown Stanford in there. I think those are the 4 best teams. But does that sound right to you, that it could be a 4, even a 5-team race this year? And it's just nice to know the Bruins are right in the middle of it.
Well, it sounds about right to me. I don't know what Arizona has down there. I mean, the crazy thing with everything that's been that has gone down is you don't know what people have, how they're improving, what the chemistry of the team is like. That's a lot of things right now that is in question. And that's why guys are practicing now, and you can't mark a W in the column. You got to go play the game.
Right. So, hey, I know a little bit about what's been keeping you busy in the off season because you and I talk about every other week or two. But fill everybody else in. What's your March until now been like?
Well, I mean, it's been being daddy mostly. I'm helping my kids in school because we're doing school remotely from Las Vegas, even though they're online with their schools in Chino Hills. My wife has been teaching her class from here. After school is over, we've been going to the gym, and my two girls are now playing basketball at 6 and 8, and they're doing well and they're improving. So I am teacher or moderator / basketball coach, daddy and everything else. And also been getting out and helping our prodigy program and our 17U team and trying to get those guys going because it's been confusing for them. They don't know if they're going to have a season, what's going to happen with possible college opportunities for them because they're not getting a fair chance and a fair shot to prove themselves and be in front of people. So we've been taking every opportunity we could that, via tournaments or now we have them in a league where they're playing 2 games a week during the weekend where it's being recorded. And hopefully the college scouts and coaches are watching them on camera to get a fair evaluation and to be able to get the opportunity that these kids are working towards. And we just hope that, that the coronavirus didn't affect or derail kids trying to do right, trying to get into college, so that's definitely, and a couple of business opportunities, and we know what they are, and, I look forward to seeing if those pan out, and the COVID has messed up a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, it makes you evaluate what's important in life, and, your family, your friends, everybody that you love, you just keep them close and you hug them.
Well, and same goes for this program, and we'll continue to hug it back and hug each other when it's safe to do it. But thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Hey, love you, buddy. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Same. See you, pal. All right, ready to meet some newcomers now. Let's start first with a freshman, with a guy from Etiwanda High School who's been turning heads already with his work ethic. Let's bring in Jalen Clark. So Jalen Clark, our first opportunity to say hello to a guy who's going to wear no digit at all, 0, big number 0. What went into that decision to grab the O?
To be honest, I just wanted the single digit number. It was nothing like all the other numbers was taken, so I just went ahead and grabbed 0. I know a lot of great players here have wore that number, like Russ, for example, but it really wasn't no me. I just really like single digit numbers.
Nice. Well, you mentioned Russell Westbrook. I know that you grew up a fan not only of Russ but of Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose. Yeah. Am I missing anybody? Who else were your guys?
Those are my 3. I was a huge Derrick Rose fan, so I used to buy all his shoes. Even though they didn't even always look that good, I just wanted to have Derrick Rose's stuff.
What was it about his style, about his game that spoke to you?
He was just he wasn't he's not, when I mean he wasn't a nice guy, I'm not saying he carried himself in a negative way, but just on the court, he didn't care about nobody. He was just here to do business. He wasn't with the friends on the court and stuff like that. You never saw him smiling and hugging people. And he was always at your neck. If he can get downhill and he can get down. He was scoring when he could score. He just made his team better when he was in Chicago until he got hurt the second time.
So I'm thinking in a weird way, maybe, when you see Mick Cronin and what he's all about, is kind of that no-nonsense business-like approach. Yeah. Sounds like that fits with your game. Is that part of why you wanted to come here?
Yeah, for sure. I don't have to do anything different. I've been playing this way so it's cool because I've been doing what I've been doing my whole life. And it's what he wants. I don't got to change nothing. So me playing defense and rebounding is normal. It's already been instilled in me. So it's just playing is no different than my high school team, really.
You mentioned your high school team and this Etowanda pipeline. I mean, there have been some
Yeah,
great players going all the way back to Darren Collison, right, that have come out
yeah.
of that
Darren's
school.
my guy.
Is he? Tell me about that.
Yeah, yeah. I've been knowing Darren. Sheesh. Oh wow, I knew Darren when I was back at Corona Centennial. I don't know if you guys know, I went there for 3 years and then I transferred to Etowanda for my senior year. So I played with Jalen Hill my freshman year. But I've been knowing Darren since I was little. He used to have camps at Etowanda, and we stayed in contact all the way through. I work out with him every week, like still to this day. Like I'm about to go see him today. Me and him go in the private gym down in Orange County. So I drive out there to work out with him.
That's a nice connection to have, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Hey, I heard that you've got your secret athletic passion, I heard, is tennis. And knowing how intense you are, that scares me a little bit. Are you like on the tennis court how you are on the
I used to
basketball court?
I never played tennis. Like at school during PE and stuff, I used to play tennis and stuff and go out there and just fool around. And I could hit a ball really good. And like, I don't know, I like that and ping pong. Because we went to China for Compton Magic for a month and they taught us how to play ping pong. But out there it's like super competitive. They got like padded walls and stuff because they go flying into the walls and the ball back and forth. So I just like that ping pong made me like it.
Good stuff, but hey, we are so excited to have you as part of the Bruins, and whether you're wearing 0 or 99, we don't care. We're just glad you're here. Have a good workout today. Go get them this
Yes,
year.
sir.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. As we talk about new players, this is a guy that I've mentioned is known in the area, but not on court yet for UCLA. He's over here from the Kentucky Wildcats. He's decided to say no to that and yes to the Bruins. Johnny Juzang. So Johnny Juzang gets welcomed to Westwood officially here. And I know it's been a long journey, my man. It's so nice to have you on campus. Tell us, if you would, what went into the decision to finally get to UCLA and not Kentucky.
Yeah, well, first, man, I'm super excited to be here. And no, I just love the conversations I had and what Coach Cronin is doing, what the team did last year and the winning environment. So, man, I'm just excited to get in here and, work hard and get after it, hopefully win some games.
You've got to have December 19th circled a little bit on your calendar, right? I mean, it's weird that one of your very first games will be against Kentucky, but do you already kind of coach yourself on just kind of, taking a breath and trying to treat it like another game, or is that impossible to do?
Man, I'm just taking it game by game. So we got San Diego State. That's the first one. So I'm really just worried about that. But when the time comes, man, that's going to be a real fun game. Keon's one of my best friends, so he's still there. So it's gonna be a fun game. But man, I'm focused on this first one.
So when you do get out there, explain your game to us a little bit. What can Bruin fans expect out of you?
Man, I'm gonna play hard. That's the first thing. I always play hard, be a good teammate, be a leader, communicate, and then outside of that, I'd say, one of the things I do best is score the ball. But I'm looking to, make an impact, rebound, play defense, be disruptive on D. So try to impact the game in as many ways as I can, help the team just get a win.
I saw somewhere where you noted James Harden as one of your favorite players, so I'm glad you threw defense in there, so you're not.
Yeah.
I don't want any misconceptions there. What do you like about James's game, and who are some of the other guys that you look up to and admire?
Well, yeah, I like playing right now. I just like how fluid James Harden scores the ball, and then after this last playoffs, Jimmy Butler, man, Jimmy Butler's probably one of my favorite players to watch now, just how hard he plays. He just gets it done. I like his whole attitude and his aura. So I've definitely got a lot of respect for him. And then Kobe, I think by far has been my biggest basketball inspiration.
Sure. And I wanted to ask you, I mean, growing up where you did, you're, Tarzana guy. I mean, certainly well linked into the whole LA basketball scene. Were you a Lakers fan from the time you were a little kid, or how did that go?
Yeah, I was. I wouldn't say like I was a Lakers fan for sure, but as a kid, I wasn't watching a ton of NBA basketball really. But the moment I remember the most was definitely that 7-game series, 2010, in the finals, Lakers and Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
And I was probably about 9, and that was just like legendary. I'll always remember that one.
Yeah, you're hooked at that point
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
So last one for you. This is just kind of like, off the grid, People Magazine kind of stuff. Just, what besides basketball? What are your other interests and hobbies? Are you a Netflix guy, video games guy? What do you do?
Man, I don't really play too many video games. I like good movies, some good TV shows here and there. And then the beach, man, I'm pretty simple. Beach, play a little golf, hang out with friends. Not too much, man. Pretty simple. I'd say once we kind of get going, man, with school and basketball, I don't got too much free time. So I wish I had a little more.
Give me, before you go, give me one TV show or a movie during the pandemic, one that you would recommend to our audience here.
I'm always going to recommend Entourage.
You're still an Entourage guy, huh?
It doesn't matter when you ask me the question. I'm on my sixth time. I think my sixth time going through it, like all the seasons.
So are you a Vinny Chase guy? Are you a Turtle?
No, I'm a drama.
You're a drama guy.
I'd say drama's my favorite, and then Ari's probably a close second.
Wow. All right. Well,
who's yours? So you've seen the show?
Yeah, Victory. Are you kidding? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love it, man.
We'll have some lively conversations. I think I'm more of an E myself.
Okay.
Probably because I'm 5'0", but we'll we'll have that debate going forward this year. Welcome, buddy. So nice to have you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to be here.
All right, sounds good.
See ya.
All right, we'll keep the train moving here. We talked to Johnny, we talked to Jalen. How about a Jaime? We got JJ for Johnny Juzang. We got JJ for Jaime Jaquez. He's actually Triple J because he's Jaime Jaquez Jr. The Camarillo kid, 9 points per game, 5 rebounds a game last year. A terrific freshman season. Let's bring him on. Jaime Jaquez joins us now with the best salad on the entire team, if not in the Pac-12. Look at that moss.
Yeah.
On top of that head. How is that? I mean, that's just not all COVID, is it? Not all pandemic hair? Have you been working on that?
I mean, I just I got a haircut maybe once, I think, during the pandemic, and I was like, try something new and just let it flow, see where it goes. So just letting it go and having fun with it,
Not to get too serious or bring the room down, to me, one of the most iconic moments of your freshman year with a great snapshot of the season was you guys win a game, you've hit a big shot, you go up into the crowd, and they envelop you, and you're sitting there just drinking it all in. Everybody's loving on you, touching on you.
Yeah.
And timestamp that now, right? Because we all know that was pre-pandemic. In a weird way, Jaime, when you think about that, it's like, wow, you were at the top of the world. That's so cool because you're celebrating with all the students and all your friends, and now you got to wear a mask and stand over there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great time, great moment, and in the past. But we're here now in this pandemic, and it's tough, not having fans there because fans bring a lot of energy to the game, especially for the home team. And it's just more fun when you have people there cheering you guys on or booing you, vice versa. And it just brings a different energy and a more fun atmosphere to play in a big arena with, people screaming and yelling and going crazy if you make a shot and things like that. So it's going to be different. It's going to be challenging, but we got to do it because we love basketball. So we want to play. So we got to do what we got to do and stay safe and try to get through this pandemic.
You're wearing your sweat, so we can't really see how jacked you are right now.
Yeah.
Here you put on a good 10 or so pounds of muscle. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was 225 yesterday when I weighed myself. So, I'm feeling good in the weight room, trying to get stronger, trying to still be, versatile and have my agility there, being able to get up and down, and just so I can be able to guard all 5 positions from the 5 all the way up to the 1. And, so I've been working in the weight room, trying to get stronger and trying to better myself.
Did that come from the coaching staff? Did that come from you? I mean, I know you've always taken pride in your defense, but it just seems like now it's almost like, okay, that's an extra golf club in my bag that I want to get out and swing with, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, it was just I've been eating. I've just been working out all the summer. I didn't really have a lot of gyms to go to because they were all shut down. So I was really just in the weight room and conditioning and trying to get stronger, do as much as I can to get my body ready. Because I know how from my freshman year how physical it was. So if I could just get stronger, the game will come easier. The stronger you are, I feel like the easier it is for, you to maneuver and defend certain guys. And, I think it's just natural as well, getting in there, drinking my protein shakes, getting the right nutrients that I need, and just getting in there and lifting weights pretty much.
With what you guys return, Jaime, and with the new guys coming in, how high can you fly this year? What are your thoughts about what it ends up being?
Well, what do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Just how good can you guys be this year? You were
Yeah.
decent last year, but how much better can it be now?
Oh, it can be tremendously better. Last year, I was a freshman. Jake was a freshman. We got two new guys, Johnny with college experience, and then Jalen Clark with, coming in as freshman. But I think now we've all played under Coach Cronin. We know what he expects out of us, and we know what we expect out of each other. And I think, we're going to be better than we were last year and, pick up where we left off and keep that momentum going, like Chris said earlier. And just ride with it. Be active on defense. Be aggressive, and be a team that other teams don't want to play.
Right.
Yeah.
Last one for you. Have you bought your Dodgers championship gear yet?
I'm working on it right now. I'm trying to get a Corey Seager jersey. Trying to get that soon. I got my Dodger hats all lined up. I just bought a new one recently for because my old one, it was getting dirty, so I got a new one. And yeah, I'm excited. The Lakers, Dodgers, it's awesome.
Next one's UCLA.
Yeah, next one's hopefully going to be us. So we're working for it.
Thank you, buddy. Continued success.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You have a good one.
Never lose when you really making moves. I know that you want it. Come from the bottom, aim for the top. Gotta go get it. Stay on your grind. Never give up. When do you want it? Time to go get it. Right on the edge. Tell me you want it. Making it happen. Know that I'm with it. It's gonna happen. Cause we about to make it happen. Make it happen. Stand in that pressure. Aim for the top. No looking back. Gotta go get it. Don't wanna talk. Put it in motion. Know that I want it. Gotta go get it. Put in that work. Don't get in the way. Playing around. About to go get it. It's gonna happen. Cause we about to make it happen. Make it happen.
Well, thanks again to all the players for participating. I really appreciate their time. Got to bring on the man you're all waiting to hear from now. Last year's Coach of the Year in the Pac-12. He's got the most wins of any Division I coach under the age of 50 years old in the entire nation. Very lucky to have him. I think he ingratiated himself very well last year, both on the court and off the court. Let's go check in with Mick Cronin. So Coach Mick Cronin has the number 22 ranked team before the ball has even been thrown in the air for tip. Mick, I know you're not big on rankings, but it's got to be at least a little bit comforting to know that there's an expectation out there now that something good is about to happen.
Well, I hope so. Rather be ranked than not, rather be ranked first than last, right? But it all doesn't matter here in the preseason. But I think more importantly is that we got a lot of returning players. And when you have returning players that have experience competing together, they've learned how to win a basketball game. And I always remind everybody it's hard to win the other team practices. They got the same amount of scholarships. They got an overpaid coach just like us. And, you got to get out there and beat that team. They're trying to prepare to beat you. So one at a time, one day at a time, just keep trying to get better. But I think experience does definitely give you give you an advantage or some positive thoughts, even though coaches are paranoid. I'm always worried we're not good enough. So whenever you do have returning players, especially returning point guard, I think returning point guard, let me throw this one at you. When's the last time UCLA's had a returning point guard?
That's a great point. Yeah.
Been a long time. Been a long, long time since the starting point guard has returned. It gives you a chance, because you're a little bit two steps ahead of where you were the year before. And so optimism's in the air. We're just so happy, Josh, to be practicing, to be honest with you, just to be here, being able to go to work with the kids, help them chase their dreams. Cause there's just been, so many tough situations in our country with everything that's going on with COVID that we're just thankful to be in here trying to put our team together and help these kids have some normalcy because their college life and career has been totally disrupted.
And, it's 88.8% of the scoring that returns. That's a nice number. and it's nice kids. I think that's the other part of all this. I mean, it's one thing to return a bunch of talent on the court. I know that you love the fact that it's good guys off the court. That has to make you happy too.
Oh yeah, we got great guys on this team. You know, it's funny thing about Chris Smith coming back. People say, what a big advantage. But that you're on the inside, you travel with us, so you understand. He's such a good guy, right? He's always smiling. He's always cracking jokes with his teammates. He's the one guy that he's watched a lot of the classic movies. So when I drop my lines, he's the only guy. I'm gonna miss him because nobody else knows when I drop some of my movie lines on these guys that I like to do, and we're bringing some levity to the situation. So, point being, it's just a chance to be around him, and and for us to be together another year. Obviously, it's great to have a guy back that's a first-team All-League player, no doubt about that.
And staying with that theme of what the guys do off the court, in these times where social justice now is kind of at the fore, and rightfully so, it seems like top to bottom on the court, you've got guys that are passionate about that. It's not like you're trying to push an agenda or they're trying to push an agenda. It seems like everybody's kind of got the same thought here, is that, look, while people are paying attention to us, let's do some good and make sure people know where we stand.
Yeah, and I have an interesting take on that. I think that's that's something that has to be generated from the players. That way, it's authentic. I think if it's generated from the coach, I would never want to put a player in a situation where I felt that where the player felt he had to join in on something he wasn't comfortable with. Because there's all kind of schools of thought out there. You saw what Myers Leonard went through with the national anthem. Where he was he was sick, couldn't even sleep or eat for 2 days, over what to do on a national anthem. And that's not what this should be about. Kids shouldn't feel they're being forced to do something and they're going to be put in a bad spot, because they're all good guys, right? They're, players are all great guys. They all just, they all want the best for each other, and they're all well aware of this. Whatever race you are on our team, you've been around sports, so you understand race and basketball, and you've seen what your teammates or your players have gone through. So it's not something that's foreign to us. None of this was foreign to us. We, in our world of basketball, we've lived it. I've personally lived it for a long time, whether it's with my ex-wife, my daughter, coaching at Woodward High School, where I never coached a Caucasian player for 5 years. I didn't coach a Caucasian player until I became a college coach. So, none of this is new to anybody really within our bubble of the basketball world. So that being said, though, I encourage our guys that they know I'm going to support them on whatever they want to stand for, because I know they're going to stand for the right things.
What's your level of concern right now, Coach, with COVID still being such a big part of our lives? You're being so careful, your staff is being so careful, the kids are being so careful, yet it's all so fragile, right? I mean, we've seen that with college football already, where best laid plans go asunder just in the snap of a finger. So what's your game plan? Just keep reminding everybody to stay safe and then cross your fingers? Or what else is there you can do?
Well, there's nothing you can do, as far as you grabbed the wrong door handle, Josh, right? You or I grabbed the wrong door handle. I mean, we can't control that. We can control our actions, right? We can control where we go, limit our exposure, wearing our mask. That we can control. But that, as you saw what happened with Tom Izzo, guys like us, all we do right now, there's no recruiting. So we come to practice, we get tested, a quarantined environment that's cleaned every night, and then we go home. So he doesn't know how he got it. And, maybe he was getting coffee. I mean, you just never know. So all you can do, though, is, again, when you're dealing with young people, you got to remind them of everything, right? Do your homework. So, especially with COVID, right? It's a constant reminder. But I think you just have, we have to accept the fact that it's realistic. And to think that it's not going to disrupt our season at some point, I think would probably be naive. So my mindset is, I keep trying to tell the guys, let's be thankful for every day, because you're in here trying to get better. You're doing what you love to do. I get to do what I love to do. And let's be thankful for that and do everything we can. But even with that, Josh, I think it's extremely real. It's in Westwood. There's dorms that have dealt with it. There's apartment buildings that have dealt with it. We've had to extract a guy because people in his apartment had it. He knew it, so he went and stayed somewhere else. So you can do everything you can try, that you want and try to mitigate your risk, but it's not going to be foolproof. But to wrap that up, I'm extremely concerned about it because for everybody out there, it's not always, hey, you get it, you don't feel well for a few days. I've had friends that I know multiple people that have had it. I know people that have passed away. I just found out this morning that a close friend of mine has lost his sense of smell and he's not feeling well, and he's headed to get tested back in Cincinnati. So I'm worried about him. So yeah, I'm very concerned about it.
Last one for you, Coach, as we get ready for this season. I'm wondering how much of last season you and the guys kind of pull with you, because you were the hottest team literally in the country down the stretch until a 23-footer went in from Jordan Matthews at Galen Center, which I still can't believe that happened. But
thanks for bringing that up.
I'm sorry. It's been in my head since March 3rd. But, you went to the tournament, never got to play. You guys were so poised, I think, to shake that last-second buzzer beater off, plant your flag, state your claim, go make some really good trouble for everybody, go to the Final Four, whatever. You never got a chance to do it. So how much of that do you bring just from a mindset standpoint? Do you bring any of last year with you, or is this the typical coach thing where you say, nah, we just turn the page?
Well, no, that's what you're saying. Experience matters, and I agree with you because of what you've learned. They say, hey, I'm 49, and I thought, there's some guys I grew up with. They're not as wise as I am, or like to think I am, because I've tried to learn from my experiences and my mistakes, along the way, and learn from others. But if you don't learn from your experiences, you don't gain any wisdom. So, our record, we don't get to keep. But boy, we better keep all the lessons we learned last year. And the number one being that I always go back to, I said it again, of how hard it is to win. Winning is not a given. Doesn't matter what 4 letters you have on your chest. It is not a given. And we had to learn how to win games last year. We had to know how to give ourselves a chance to win games. We had to learn how to not give games away with turnovers or gambling defensively and leaving shooters, which we really struggled with. So there's a lot of lessons from last year that absolutely are regurgitated to these guys every day, whether it's showing them on film or, I'm talking about our 3-point defense last year and how that was a big problem for us until the last 10 games of the year. So definitely last season, our experience is what matters. Our record's irrelevant, Start thinking, well, we're over the hump. We're just going to win. Everything's going to be great. No, that's not the case. And I keep reminding them that, you're only going to get what you deserve, and that other team's practicing. They're going to try to win that game. They're going to be physical. So we've just got to make sure we understand, as long as I'm here, my main job is to make sure these guys are prepared for battle and understand what we're going to stand for. That here we put winning first. That don't come here if you don't want to play to win. Okay. And that the NBA wants winners. Those guys like their jobs. You get fired quick up there. So they like winners. So let me teach you how to become a winner and combine that with your talent. And then all your hopes and dreams can come true. And that's what our program's all about.
I love it. Well, in the first 4 weeks, it's going to be San Diego State, Marquette, Kentucky, Oregon, a lot of chances to prove yourself. I know you're looking forward to that, Coach. And hey, stay safe, stay wonderful. We'll see you soon. Socially distant, but we'll see you.
You too, buddy. I hope you're enjoying the Solana Beach down there.
Always.
All right, take care.
All right, see you. All right, thanks to the man who will make sure that everything goes as well as it possibly can this year. He was ready to do that last year too when the pandemic hit, and who knows how far the Bruins would have gone last year. But Mick gets that second opportunity now. Before we leave you, one last guest we want to bring on. You guys all know him very well, and he's been doing yeoman's work trying to make sure that we have things like this here tonight and making sure that everything at UCLA and the athletic department is still running as well as can possibly be. Associate Athletic Director and all-around good guy. Let's bring on Josh Rebholz.
Bruin fans, thanks so much for being with us tonight. The 2020-21 men's basketball tip-off dinner. A little different than in the past. We miss seeing you in the Pavilion Club this year, but we know that you're going to be supporting us from home, watching the Bruins on TV. It's going to be a great season. We tip off tomorrow night against San Diego State. I know you'll be watching, and we're excited to see what our guys can do. Last season got cut short. We were on a roll, and let's see if we can keep this thing going. I know Coach Cronin is working his butt off, as is our team, and they're doing great things in the Austin Center right now practicing, and I know they're going to be ready to go tomorrow night. And we can't thank you enough as fans for all you do for UCLA men's basketball. You make a sincere impact on our ability for success, and we appreciate you. We thank you for all you do for us. We hope you have a great, great night. Thanks so much for being here, and go Bruins.
Josh, thank you very much. And as we say goodbye and good night, a special a special thank you to all of you for continuing to be Bruin donors, for being Bruin enthusiasts, for supporting the program however you do it. Your mere presence on this program here tonight shows that you really do care, and we notice that. We really do. So for Mick Cronin, for Martin Jarmond, for Josh Rebels, for all the players who are ready to give it their all this year and try to uphold that #1 ranking in conference, I am Josh Lewin, and I appreciate you tuning into this very much. Take care and stay safe.